Hi, thank you for being around. This is Feria, and first, I would like to say thanks also to the messenger, somebody who messaged me. This was an interesting message to which I'm going to respond publicly because there was no mention of the message being a private one. Anyway, in short, the message asks me if I am an AI, like artificial intelligence, because I remember things, and no, I'm not an AI. Really, I am a person. And well, the reason that I remember all the details is because what I record here um, are not even um, in a small portion as detailed as the report I sent to my friend. And sometimes, for some reasons, I have to go through those reports, and it reminds me, it simply reminds me of different people, different places, and so on. So, no, I have only notes. So, anyways, in case you don't want your messages to be talked about publicly, please mention it in your message. So there is a good news. One of my parcels has been delivered on at the end of January after almost a month. No, like 40 days. That's the good news, but still there is a bad news because another parcel of mine have been um, delivered to a delivery place for post packages. As I can see on the missed delivery notes, where I'm not very happy to go to pick it up because I would be happy um, to avoid the extended welcoming committee I always encountered when I went there. So, anyways, the notification left for missed delivery was just a scam because, unlucky for them, I work at home. I'm always here, so and especially on those days indicated on the notification. Anyways, I'm going to bring this to official channels of your organization. Anyways, sorry, I think I have got some cold. So, something I'm going to talk about is about things we see, but actually they are not what they really are. So, I'm not talking about lizard people. It's not something like that. It's only about these petty criminals, like always. So, if uh, you see that something's happening in your place where you live, in your country, it would be great if you could share your experience on the page because it might help somebody. Because I'm convinced that each country, due to its characteristics, will require different kind of tactics and operation skills. Well, so it might help somebody. So now let's go to what I'm going to talk about. A few days ago, I went for grocery shopping. In the supermarket, a girl with a hair cover and an Asian guy were around, moving almost all the time with me, not shopping, of course. Um, when left the supermarket, a guy in black, which I had seen quite often around, in very not very pleasant circumstances, was standing outside the supermarket. I hesitated, but then I went to him and said, "You're always here, aren't you?" And he said, like, "Yes," because he wanted to avoid me to hear his accent. Um, I said, "Well, I thought so." And then I left. On the street, on the way back home, I saw a guy walking towards me. He catcalled me. It was the same guy I had seen at work driving a white SUV and in LinkedIn, and also driving ambulance very unprofessionally. Few months later, not a few months later, sorry, a few minutes later, and a guy dressed in local police uniform came towards me. Again, he looked very familiar, and I recalled the youth guy. Um, they could be really brothers. So, but he was definitely not a police officer, in spite of the uniform. Um, you know, the very simple indication that the police officers here never walk alone or go on patrol by themselves. They're always in two, at least, mostly on two. And then the attitude, it was also totally different. Uh, he pulled his mask on as I continued to look at him. At the crossroad, a few minutes later, three local buses, a cab, and a pitch black car passed by slowly. Um, I didn't recall the driver of the first bus, but had seen the second one before, and driving a black SUV, and the third one who was totally irregular. I have I had seen him in many occasions driving a red cab and a black SUV and among others. Bus operators here wear uniforms. None of these guys wore any uniforms, uh, apart from the fact that I recognize some of them. Anyways, not sure about the cab because I was more concentrated on the buses because last week it had happened something similar, except that they were coming on the same line and from the end of the street towards the crossroad. Anyways, just interesting organization. And but there, I noticed very well the black car, and the car was black, black windows. The definitely two passengers, both in front seat. One driver I couldn't see, and the other one was a guy wearing also totally black, and uh, put his arm on the window to cover his face. Anyways, I wouldn't be able to see anything. Everything was black. It seemed like just a black box. Anyways, and of course, few minutes later, closer to home, the biker, of course, how could could be missed. In total, something like 10, 11 situations, I think. Well, so the point is, police may not be police. Bus driver may not be bus driver. Uh, and ambulance driver may not be ambulance driver. The plainclothes cop car, which I had observed some time ago, might not be a cop either. So this is important. This is important to take to be attention to pay attention about because we might see things, but if we look closer, it might not be again still the same thing. Anyways, um, now uh, take this. My whole shopping trip took almost an hour. Um, for gangers, for some of them, for example, those on foot, it might be easy to show up, but how fast can they put their hands on a police uniform? Buses are on a schedule. How did those three arranged for those buses right on time when I got to the crossroad? Um, Adding the cab and the black car, it's actually quite a thing. So, or maybe they stop time. I have no idea. But anyways, this requires quite a lot of organizational skills. And I wonder if any of them would have enough ambition to do something else instead of being gangers. Um, Anyways, these are questions mainly for authority, but also a heads up for us to look twice, even at the apparently obvious. There was, if this goes also for the news, for what we see also online. Recently, a local politician was politician's picture was published in a compromising situation for her position, for what she does. And she was lucky enough because the location where this picture was allegedly taken was covered by CCTV. So she had the possibility to go through all the frames and practically see that it was a hoax. And so practically she managed in this way to gain back her reputation and uh, practically also saving her career. Well, there are a lot of mean people around anyways, and but don't forget, much, much more good people. Um, Anyways, this is all I wanted to say this time because I thought it's important for us to be mindful and be really, really careful about our environment and check everything more times. And there is also this technology deepfake, and it apparently can be really devastating. Um, Anyways, thanks for being here and happy Valentine's.